maybe this month, those 5 new clients that you've started with, start fresh with them and think about what is the value of referral? What is the value of talking to those 5 people and teaching them to refer? 5 clients, maybe each of them share with their friends, their mom, and create 2 referrals each. Then you have 10 new clients just from referrals. So that's pretty powerful. Move ahead. Those 10 referrals give you 10 referrals each. That's 20 new clients from referrals. So that's pretty powerful. These are not people you're having to go to the grocery store and find in the cereal aisle or wherever. These are people that are word of mouth, they're friends of a friend of a friend. These are people coming to you, asking, telling you that they're ready for help. So you can see, starting from those 5 clients, you can now create 35 clients just from referrals. There's lots of room, guys, so don't hesitate to come on up. And then that little fancy one. There we go. So the 2 things you'll need to do to create an endless supply of referrals are it's very simple. It's 2 things. Be a great health coach, which John's going to talk about in a minute, and then teach your clients how to refer. Most clients don't realize that that's something, it's a skill set, really, and it's something that we need to teach our clients how to do. And so those are the 2 things we're going to be going over today, and that's what's really going to help you create these referrals in your business. So,
I agree with that. So that's one of the things we definitely want to talk about is why referrals, right? So a lot of us have been coaches for a little while, and I know in Brian and I's business, we probably 60 to 70% of the new clients we start every month are referrals. So they are the lifeblood of what we do. And I always say a new client is just they're not a health coach yet. Anyway, so where does it start? It starts with being an absolutely fabulous health coach. It starts with building trust. It starts from day 1. It starts with that very first conversation. It starts with letting them know the value of this program and really knowing, us as health coaches, really knowing what we have in our hands, okay? So it's knowing the full offering and giving that consistent client support that you layer and you talk with them on the weekly celebration days. They know that they can count on you to reach out to them. They know that you're going to be that consistent beacon in their life. I always think of myself sometimes as what are those things that the ships come in?
Lighthouse?
Lighthouse! Okay, not a movie. But, so there's people, they're looking, they don't know what to do, they don't know where to go. So if you are that beacon of light, if you are that consistent, through the storm, through whatever the struggles are that they're going on, if they know that they can look up and they see you, that is that trust, that's the relationship, that's what you want to be in their life. And you assist them to follow that, to become fully integrated clients. So really, what's that?
It's the hotel tries to.
Okay. Yeah. No, thank you. We don't want to join. So really, it starts with being a great health coach, and that is trust and being consistent and helping them become fully integrated. So this is just a picture of it. Starts with you. It starts with the clients, and then you are the health coach. You surround them, you give them that sense of trust, and you guide them to the tools. Okay. So it's not just about checking in. How was your weight loss last week? How many inches did you lose? It's like, how are you doing? How are you feeling? What was your favorite part from the reading? What was your favorite email from this last week from the Stop Challenge Choose campaign? Tell me about how things are going. It's really building that value and that trust. And again, reminding them that so they're not becoming wholly dependent on you, but you are empowering them to really reach out and to gain that knowledge. Posture is key. So really this is, are you coaching them on a weight loss program, or are you coaching them on an optimal health program? Are you coaching them on a journey that they're on for life? Are you helping them lose weight, or are you helping change the health of America? So you really want to pull them into that big picture and just little by little help them see what they're a part of, because they're a part of something much greater. And as you heard all the stories in the other room this morning, that's really where it starts. So it's, are you just doing weight loss in inches, or are you helping them see what we really are all about? I love this slide. So really, it's kind of, and the next one we get to gut check. But really, if someone were to look at you, to run across your Facebook page, to meet you, would they know that you're a health coach? Is there enough evidence out there in how you carry yourself, how you live your life, how on purpose you are? Do the people all around you know what you do? And really, do your clients find value in you? Do they trust you enough to refer their friends and family? And that can really take some holding that mirror out in front of ourselves and saying, really? Do I call when I say I'm going to call? Do I coach them from day one? Do I get the ball started before they've even put that first Medifast meal in their mouth? Do they see the value and what this program's all about? Because that's where it starts.
We need two of these. So the second step, Dawn gave you great tips. It seems so simple, but really, are you doing those action steps to be that trusting relationship for your client? Are you being that great health coach? So the next part here is teaching your clients how to refer, right? You've got to teach them. They don't just know how to do it. You might find that pearl that just knows how to connect you with their friends and family, but most of the time, they either don't know that they can send their friends and family to you. Truly, they don't realize that, especially if these are people from other parts of the country or a lead or any of these people that they don't get it yet. So you've got to teach them. So the thing to remember too is referrals don't just, of course they benefit you because you get to help more people and that's what this is about, but referrals really benefit your client. It helps them be part of that community and help develop that community around themselves. It helps them bring people in their inner circle into our world, which helps them be more successful. Jesus, Lizzie really wants us to sign in for their Wi-Fi. So knowing their friends and family are getting healthy just gives them that sense, it empowers them to continue on their journey because they're inspiring others and people are coming into their world. Accountability, linking arms with the people around them. If their mom and their sister are on plan too, don't you think they're going to have a much more successful girls' night out than if their mom and their sister are not on plan and want to go to the movies and have a glass of wine and a big old thing of popcorn? So bringing people into their world really helps them be more successful. They get a savings on their program. Dawn and I love to call it a thank you credit, aka the referral credit. We like to call it a thank you credit because we're thanking them for sharing that, and that's really a way to posture it. In a different light to help them see that we are so grateful for the referrals. Paying the gift of health forward. People love to have something they can give to somebody. So if they realize that they can give you to their family members, that they can give someone a free health coach, that's really powerful. And when you show them that and teach them that you are there to be given to somebody else, then it's kind of going to connect the dots for them. And then, also, when you've taught them to start referring, that gives you a great platform to start talking about them becoming a health coach. Gives you that place that you can kind of start sprinkling on them that, wow, you're so great about telling people about this program. You might want to think about becoming a health coach. Or, I love how Doug says, wow, you're talking like a health coach when they start, saying things about the habits of health. So teaching your clients to refer. I start with the very, very first phone call during the profile. That's the perfect place to begin talking to them about referrals. There's that little spot right on there. Is there anyone who wants to join you? Who's going to support you in this? Who have you done a diet with before that didn't work? Who did you do that crazy lettuce and mustard diet with that it didn't work for them too, obviously? Who do you have in your circle? That's the very, very first spot to start creating that idea in their head about, yes, you can ask other people to come with you, and I will help them. We can do it together. Coworkers, an accountability partner. Ask them, who is going to be that person who knocks that, cookie out of your hand at work? Do you have that person in your life? And is that person somebody who maybe needs help as well? So planting those seeds for them. And then I talked from the very beginning about the referral credit, the thank you credit. I always tell them, you know what? If your best friend who has done all those diets with you, if they want to join too, I would love to put a thank you credit on your account for your second order. So then, then that gives them a little something extra. And they're like, oh, well, I would have told her anyways, but how great is that? So it's a nice little, cherry on top. So here's some verbiage for those of you who really like the nitty-gritty verbiage to tell your clients. I love this. This is a Brad Miller slide. So at the end of that first conversation, this is some great verbiage to use. I'm very excited for you. You're going to be losing weight so fast and moving towards your goals that people are going to really start to notice. When they do, will you please tell them that you're doing an optimal health program and working with a health coach? The very first, give them that idea, give them that visualization that they are going to be losing weight, they're going to be feeling fantastic, and people are going to notice very quickly, because you know what? Maybe on your first time you check in with them, maybe it's their second week on program, and they're already down, 8 pounds. People are probably already going to start to notice. They see it in their face, they know they're happier, something's happening. You want to give them that verbiage before you even cross that bridge, before they cross that bridge. So, also for every person you refer, you'll receive a thank you credit towards your next order. Most people can pay for a majority of their orders. People don't realize that. Like, if you can refer a lot of people, and that's savings towards your program. And then maybe between the two of us, we'll be able to inspire others to help. That, again, is giving them that gift that they can be an inspiration for other people. And some people are going to love that. Also, do you have someone that would like to join you on this plan so you can support each other? I kind of touched on that, but that's really paramount because we're so focused on that person, which is fantastic because they are your new client and that's your job to be a great health coach to them. But starting to layer that with them from the get-go is exactly what you want to do.
And I love that because, so you've got a new client, you've got them started, and they're in fat burn. And that's really where it starts, right? They're excited, they're in fat burn, they have all this energy, and they're at work, they're around their friends, and they're eating these little meal replacements with yellow wrappers that say Medifast on them. So they think, even though you're saying, hey, let people know that you're working with a health coach, you have an optimal health program, KPC Take Shape for Life, they see Medifast 5 times a day. And every time they open that cupboard, it's Medifast, like they've got all their meals. So they think Medifast, and it will come out of their mouth no matter what. So helping them really stay focused and just, again, that value of you as a health coach. Let them know, teach them, actually give them the verbiage of, you know what, when you're talking to someone, let them know, it's really simple, I'm working with a health coach. I'm loving it, I have a lot of energy. I eat every 2 to 3 hours and I drink a lot of water. That's about it. Why don't I give your number or your email or both to my health coach? They'll reach out to you, you guys can chat, they might ask you some questions just to see if this is a good program for you, see if it's a good match. And that's really all I want people to say. It's really all we want them to say. They don't need to go into the details, they certainly don't need to go over the 5 and 1 or any of that or try to explain this fat burn magic. They just need to say, I'm working with a health coach, I eat every 2 to 3 hours, I'm drinking water, and they'd love to help you with things. So that is really where I like to start, and then trust me, even though you've gone through that with them, they're still saying Medifast, okay? I've got clients that have referred people and amazingly referred people, but they're still saying Medifast, and we just need to teach them and give them some guidance on the fact that, wow, that's great, Medifast is wonderful, we partner with them, but you know what? If they go to Medifast Direct, they're not going to get a valuable resource in a health coach, and they're really going to just be doing a diet, and they're not going to have the great results that you might be having. So really help them see that value of, oh, there's a difference, without going into too much detail. So what I'd like to do is bring Lisa up, Lisa Shepherd. Hang on just a second. Because what we're going to do right now, do you guys like role plays? Do you guys like some actual tidbits of things that you can go out and do? Woo! Oh, I was like, right. Never mind. So Lisa and I are going to do a mock call. And what we're going to do is a celebration day call. And I'm going to be a client. And let's just put it this way. I hit fat burn about 4 days ago. And we're checking in for the first time after that. And so Lisa's just going to kind of see how it's going with me, okay?
And this is absolutely not rehearsed, so you're going to literally get what I do, fumbles and all. You're going to get the fumbles that I would get on a phone call. So this is what it's all about, right? You're not supposed to be perfect.
No, not about being perfect or practice.
Oh, do I get a fake phone?
Wait, grab your fake phone. Okay. Hello.
Hi, Dawn. It's Lisa. How are you doing?
Hi, Lisa. I'm good.
Happy week 1. I am calling to celebrate with you. I am so excited to hear how things are going on program for you.
Oh my gosh. Well, I just have to say, I'm feeling awesome. My pants are a little looser, and I think I'm in that thing that you said, fat burn, because I have so much energy. I mean, I cleaned the house, I did the dishes, and all of a sudden Ryan woke up this morning. I mean, oh my gosh, he's just gonna be so amazed, and I feel so good. This is just awesome. Thank you for helping.
You are so welcome, darling. I love hearing all the ways that we notice, and it's because you're getting healthy, right? I mean, you are fueling your body. Your cravings and your hunger is probably like totally decreased right now, right?
Absolutely.
And so that energy is just from giving your body what it wanted. So I'm so excited to hear. Tell me, what are you noticing? Like what, like, you said you think you're in this fat burning game, by the way. Yes, you are. So don't think about it. So tell me, did you happen to weigh yourself? Not that the number on the scale is the end all be all, of course, but did you happen to?
So I did. So yesterday was I told you I was going to work a 12-hour shift at work, and I was kind of nervous because it was my first time back. So I weighed myself before going in, just like you said. I just popped out of bed and jumped on the scale, and I was down 6 pounds. Yeah. So my scrubs were looser, and I just felt good. Like, you know how I was telling you, I would go through work and I'd go 6-8 hours without eating. And yesterday I ate every 2.5 hours. You'd be so proud of me. And I drank my water, and I had to go to the bathroom. It was kind of annoying, but I felt good. So what I'm noticing is I have more energy. I used to really drag at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and honestly, I wasn't the funnest person to work with. And so yesterday I noticed that I was helping other people out on the floor. I was actually in there helping people do their work too, and it was awesome. People were kind of cool.
So you just hit on something I was going to ask you with that as well. Obviously, you're totally noticing some changes in yourself, of course, but tell me, who at work has noticed? Because I'm guessing that they are noticing a change in you.
Yeah, well, other than the fact that I was a little more talkative than normal and a lot more helpful and happy, you know what? The secretary was asking me kind of what I was doing because she was seeing me opening these things and eating constantly. And so she was asking me, and a couple of the nurses were totally noticing a difference. They felt really good that, I'm only 6 pounds down, but people are actually noticing. It feels really good.
So what did you tell them?
Oh, I told them all about what I'm doing. I said I'm doing Medifast, and I have this great health coach. And, I just absolutely sang your praises. And you know what? Okay, this is really funny. One of the girls actually grabbed one of my wrappers out of the trash can. Can you believe that? She was so curious about what I was doing. And I said, I was doing Medifast. And anyways, I had to run off and grab a light real quick, answer a call with a patient. But anyways, so I came back and she was looking at one of my wrappers. So I gave her a bar. I gave her one of my peanut butter crunch bars, and she really liked it.
So tell me, you've got to tell me. Okay, all right. We know we love that we have the convenience of the Medifast foods, right? That is certainly a tool in your tool belt, right?
Oh, yeah.
But how much have you loved like in those first couple of days? Think of those questions that you had in those first couple of days. Was it pretty important for you to have kind of like a human being to chat with and kind of me to like kind of answer a couple of those questions? You didn't have any like deal breaker questions, but tell me what else about the program that you're loving besides those yellow wrappers.
Oh, I love the energy, and honestly, I love that I wouldn't have gotten to day 4, I don't think, if you hadn't talked me off that ledge on day 3. Because you remember how terrible I was feeling, and I didn't feel good, and I was nauseous, and I had a headache, and I was hangry, I was really, I know that wasn't really fun to talk to me that day, but you were able to help me keep going, and you remember when you said if I could just go another couple hours or just make it till the next morning, I'd probably be feeling better, and you were right. I don't think I would have stuck it out this long without you. So you're right. Yeah, thank you for that. I wouldn't be here without that.
You're right, Dawn. And so you know what? You care about your coworkers, right? You guys got into this industry to help people, and I know that you would love for your coworkers, your friends, or everybody to have. Just think of what you're feeling right now. You want them to have that same feeling. So you know what? When they ask you what it is that you're doing, we don't want them like going out there and finding some other yellow wrappers, right? And just thinking that that's what it's all about. Because what if they didn't get to ask those same questions? What if they didn't get that same support? It would be so sad if after a week they were like, I'm starving, I'm hungry, this program stinks, I'm done, and instead they didn't have. So you know what? Here's the scoop. When somebody says they just wish they could have what you have, or, oh, I would do something totally, but I just can't, whatever it may be, you know what? Let them know that you are on a health program, that you're just, you're getting healthy. You are not on a diet. You are getting healthy. And you know what?
Back this time.
Just send them, what I love to do is even just, ask them if it's okay for your health coach to give them a call or email them or whatever. I love that I get to reach out my helping hand to them, take that nervousness and that scary away, and I get to just kind of say, hey, you know what? Let's find out more about you. So would love to hear that. And you know what, down the road, you're probably gonna find that you're having so much fun watching them get healthy that you're probably gonna wanna coach them, which is totally possible and wonderful because you are fantastic and love them. But in the meantime, you know what, obviously, definitely let them know that, and then just go ahead and send that to me. Of course, I'd love to give you a thank you credit on your account, but we know that's not why we do it. I just love to be able to have a small way to say thank you.
Wow.
Yep, and that's a great little bonus, but at the same time, that big bonus is honestly watching those people around you get
Oh,
healthy.
absolutely. Well, number one, they'll be nicer to work with because they won't be grumpy and angry and tired and lazy like I was. And I love that. I'll absolutely connect them with you.
Great.
And you sent me that newsletter like on Monday. I was just thinking because the secretary was really interested. I actually forwarded it to her. Because I hope that's okay. I forwarded her your newsletter, and so when I see her tomorrow at work, I'll grab her phone number and her email, and would that work?
Yeah, you definitely, forwarding that email is totally, that newsletter is totally great. One thing I would love to say, you know what, it's super easy. Why don't you send her an email and CC me in it? And then you can just introduce us that way, and you don't have to worry about like, knowing anything other than what you're doing a great job taking care of yourself right now. Just CC me, introduce me to her, introduce her to me, and then I can just kind of smile at her virtually through email and through phone, and we can just kind of get started on this journey together.
I would love it. Thank you so much, Lisa. I love that I now have a game plan for when people are asking me because honestly it was a little overwhelming.
Yep.
Okay.
You're doing great, darling, and
Thank
I can't wait to chat again soon. Keep up the great work, sweetheart.
Okay, I will.
All right.
Bye.
Encore.
Encore. We're chatty Kathy.
So your conversation might not be that fast-paced.
Right. So
Some of us, yes, but not everybody. But fantastic information.
sometimes when people are in Tavern, they talk a lot and they talk really fast. And sometimes, they're not quite as wordy, but I love that because it really pulled out some interesting things. And what I love is that she layered the coaching in there just a little bit. She sprinkled it. When the time came up and when the timing was right, she sprinkled it, but she sprinkled it with, I didn't take the compliment that you gave me lightly. You said, that it was in my heart to help people, and you keyed in on something that was very important to me that we must have had a conversation about, that as a nurse I wanted to really help people. And so she keyed in on that and she layered that in there so nicely that it came off totally seamless. So the seed was planted, and you better bet when I'm at work and people are wanting to get healthy, I'm like, well, I can help you. That's what I do, right? I'm a nurse, or whatever. Like, you're my friend. I'm here for you. I want to help you. So, anyway.
Before you bring the ladies up, I want to say one more thing too. Because I think we don't have a slide on this. She talked about referrals and about talking to people because Dawn was having an awesome day.
Yes.
You don't bring up referrals when your client had a terrible week. They all have bad weeks. When they're like, well, I gained half a pound this week and my dog died and it's raining again. That is not the week to say, hey, do you have anybody who wants to do program? So use your social awareness. If somebody said that to you, would you be like, oh, sure. No, you'd be like, seriously? Seriously, I'm having a bad week. Ask them on the high weeks. Ask them when they feel fantastic and people have noticed and they, even if it's their first week, they're having a great week. Even if it's 6 months down the road and they hit one of their non-scale victories, that's the time to talk about it. So.
Right. So, and that's one thing I structure my weekly celebration calls in about the same way. I have kind of a similar set of questions that I ask. And that one of, okay, who's noticing, can be kind of optional. Because sometimes you're helping them, you're believing for them when they might not believe for themselves. And sometimes you're celebrating. So on those celebrations, I always end with who's noticing. And that's the high point that we leave the conversation with. And then I congratulate them on being an inspiration to others. We want to bring up two total rock stars, Lisa and Lisa. So these gals, Lisa, we thought we'd make it simple.
Except for when you say, hey Lisa, what are you thinking?
But so this is Lisa Mulvaney and Lisa Shepard, both certified health coaches, absolutely rocking. You guys can sit. Both girls, run incredibly high frontline volume. You take care of a lot of clients, and you're getting a lot of referrals. So we wanted to just hear a little bit from each of you about, what what has that meant from where you were as a health coach, kind of like how long you've been a health coach, maybe the amount of referrals that you are getting, where are you seeing those referrals come from? So like some tangible tips, some action steps, because we all want to know, like, where do they come from, and what do they mean in your business, and how have they helped you grow? What percentage of those, and how do you layer the coaching in there, and really what is a referral mean? I'll let you go first since I just
Okay. So how many of you in this room have thought, I really wish I had more people I was helping? Why do all my leaders have so many referrals? So that was me. I didn't have many in the very beginning, and I feel very blessed because in the leadership that we have of Doug and Tia Wood and Becca and Kevin Tinter, they really taught us on this, so I have a lot of gratitude for that training. You know, honestly, I had to look inside myself. How was I coaching? How was I doing my calls? Was I even mentioning about referrals in the beginning? Was I layering anything about who's noticing? You know, I had to look within. Very intrinsic. And a lot of what we do in our actions are intrinsic. So what I started doing was what some of the other leaders were doing. So like they were saying here, in that first couple calls, I would be asking, who's noticing? Who's noticing what you're doing? You know, and I would try to build that excitement with them. And then I would, once they were in fat burning, I would send them a referral email or letter in the mail. I know it's in my business cards with it. And then I would follow up. The next week we talked. Did you receive that? You know, has that helped you know how to talk to more people about it? Most people would say, yes, you know, I've been saying MetaFast, you know. And MetaFast is our tool. It's great. But we offer, like they were saying, so much more. And so some of even my clients would say, oh my gosh, I told people MetaFast, and I actually have people that went to the site and signed up, and they didn't even think, you know, about me. And so like they were saying about, you know, are you mentioning that you're a health coach and you've helped them through the first 4 days? Because has anyone in the room ever run into someone that says, oh, I've done that MetaFast thing and it didn't work? So that is where, when we are training them to know about the coaching, that is such a key point, because they will not have us to guide them. And then they will be hangry and they will quit. And people tend to say more negative when they're not successful, right? Than to say, oh my God, my coach Lisa is so amazing, you have to work with her. So I really layered people through 30 Days of Hope about our program. And then on the calls, I layer about referrals. I send my letter. I layer it in my Facebook support group. And so, you know, I also give a thank you credit to everyone that refers. And then it also, like they were saying, it offers that opportunity to tell people about coaching. You know, who is noticing, and you know, you're doing so well on this program. Have you thought about taking this gift forward to other people? Because I really try not to take a referral if I can. Because I know I can help a lot more people if that person pays it for themselves. So I really try to lay it out there. I would love to help your friends and family, but wouldn't it be fun if you could too? Would it be rewarding, you know? And you're building that trust and that relationship through the calls. And like they were saying, you definitely don't want to bring it up when someone's in tears on the phone with you. You know, they've had a rough week. And a lot of the people we're working with have an unhealthy mind. So those weeks are going to happen. So definitely layering on those high days, that's a lot of value. That's a great time to do it. So that's pretty much what I do. Yeah, what you guys said.
Lisa, that's awesome. I just wanted to real quick recap just a couple of things. I love that you said you layer it in a lot of different areas, and really we have a lot more slides, but we knew these guys would hit on most of them because they're amazing. But you talked about layering it from the beginning, layering it in so many different ways. So on the weekly check-in days, on your client support page, that you send out your referral letters. Now, when do you personally send those referral letters out?
I usually send them out when I know for sure they've hit fat burning.
Okay.
So when I know they've hit into fat burning, then I send it out maybe that next week, that next day or that weekend right after.
Perfect.
And you know, I'm sure that on that last day that they are in a good fat burn. If I have any indication that maybe they're not completely there, I'll do a couple extra calls and then send it once I know for sure.
Awesome.
And then I also send out, I didn't say this, I also send out a monthly newsletter on my own. And I just layer health tips, success stories, recipes, and things like that. And so I always put the referral in there also.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. And a lot of people have it on the end of their signature that, you know, accepting referrals is great. And the recipe thing is key. I've found that when I started adding recipes into my monthly or weekly newsletters, people love to share recipes.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like an awesome recipe? And if you can send a recipe that's also attached to a health tip, and by the way, who's this health coach? You know, it's like, oh wow, I got a recipe plus stuff. So that's awesome. I love that. Lisa, you can.
All right, I was gonna say, remind me of my questions. For real, like,
Just tell us, where do your referrals come from? Maybe, that would be something a little bit. So where do your referrals come from? And maybe, was there a time where you weren't maybe acquiring as many referrals and how that changed?
Sure, and so whenever I go to any training, whether it be like Go Global Convention or our local trainings, I always sit in the chair and like wanna I haven't been doing that, I wanna like run out of here and go start doing whatever I learned, so simmer down, you know, like go implement it, but don't regret over what you haven't been doing, just move forward, right? So yes, there's definitely, I mean, I've learned something I've been a coach for 2 years and I've learned something at every training I come to, and I go home and coach a little differently every single month. So there was a time when I wasn't even touching on referrals at all. No big deal, get caught up. So probably the majority, I mean, I always have, I love the phrase out of the blue. How many times I've heard myself say, and then out of the blue, so-and-so called me, and out of the blue, so-and-so called me, or emailed me, or whatever. There is no such thing as out of the blue. It's just day by day. So don't think that the second, like you're gonna go home and you're gonna do your first celebration call and you're gonna follow this script exactly, and all of a sudden everybody's gonna be like, well, funny you should ask. I asked so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so. It doesn't work that way. The brain doesn't work that way. So they gotta marinate. They gotta, you know, it takes a few different times, you know. So don't harp on it, but at the same time, it's just amazing how you continually do those steps. So yes, I do have something in my signature, which is a godsend if you can get to the bottom of your email. So I don't know if anyone sees it or not, but I do have it in my signature, and I do. Really, it's the phone calls. The phone calls are probably my biggest spot where so we've already done. I'm not going to talk about how I do it because we just kind of did that. But very rarely do I have somebody go, you know, like that day, say, in fact, I do. It's that on our next call they mention, or out of the blue I get an email that their mom is ready to get started, or, you know, but I do teach them how. My favorite way to teach people how is the CC method. You know, like, and I get real relational with people if they're open to hearing me about it. My biggest is we all have something that we need a coach on. And it could be your finances, it could be your marriage, it could be your landscaping, like in your yard or whatever. I don't, whatever it is, we all have something, and we all have something, a topic that is our worst topic. Like the one that will just, it never goes on our to-do list, it's always on our I should-do list, right? And when I tell people that we have, like, most of the people out there that are at their work, that are super excited about, like, I want to do what you're doing, I want to do, tell me, and they give you their business card, you know, or they give them your business card, they go home, and that's the topic that is their creepy topic. It's their, I don't want to think about this topic. I was excited in that moment that I was talking to her at work, but I'm going to continue to, it's going to sit on my desk, and that little person's picture on there is going to stare at me, but I'm not going to do anything about it. And so I get real relational with my people, not pigs. You know, I get real relational with them, and I just say, let's help them go from should do to going to do, and I get to do that for them. So you know what? They're going to set that business card on their desk. Why don't you go ahead and send them an email and introduce me to them, and then I can just kind of take some of the scare, some of the fear out of there and go from there. And that kind of relates to people. I have things, I get real personal, but I want to say I have things that are on my should-do list, but I don't want to think about them because I'm scared. I don't know. I'm afraid of the questions that person is going to ask me, whatever. Where my referrals have come into play, I guess I would say, has definitely been, you know, just I would say when people are referring and then they start to see success, it makes my job a whole lot easier because they have that network around them. They're creating their bio network in their own circle of influence, if you will. But really, they start to realize they're not crazy about thinking about becoming a health coach. You know, so that's probably, once again, that happens, quote, out of the blue after some layering and all that kind of stuff. Did I answer any of your questions?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. No, and that's great because a referral is not just jump in your lap. A referral is if this person is interested, just like any sort of pre-client. You're going to be layering with them, and just like all of them, it might take, you know, 5, 6, 7 times of you sprinkling. Some people say dripping. I like to say sprinkling. It's more, I don't know, like fairy dust. But it's gonna take that all over them.
Lisa, one last thing.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I mentioned that I send out my referral letter, you know, when they're fat burn. I also want to mention that I still send it out to people in maintenance. Because even people in maintenance over time still start to think of people, and if they're not coaching, they're still great referrals. And also, they may decide to coach down the road. So I just wanted to mention that too. I don't just send it out once. I send it out every so often.
That's great.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys so
That's
much.
great.
Yeah.
Luckily Michelle Fabio did that because Susan Lavelle, who was my health coach, became a coach 8 months into maintenance. So it's a very good point. So the girls touched about this, and we only have about 5 minutes left, and I want to respect everyone's time. We talked about the referral letter. When they start seeing success or when they start getting into fat burn, that's the time to send the referral letter. You want to send it on the front end of things, but it's kind of your personal style where you want to send it. I think once they get into fat burning, it's awesome. I usually start sending them out once maybe somebody has started to notice, but after today I might start doing it sooner because I'm learning things too. And be systematic about it. Know that, you know, this day, you know, the first week of the month, that's when you make sure that you're sending out your referral letters, or maybe catch up on some maybe you forgot to send last month. So, you know, have that day that you check yourself and make sure you send those out. Other referral letter options, I do not send out a formal referral letter. I like to do